We are recording. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Team Inspiring Heroes / Spread the Light team call. It is November 3rd, 2019. It's Sunday, and I'm so excited that everyone is here. I have a few things to go over, and we're going to do business, and then we're going to talk about Super Weekend, and we're going to talk about our biggest takeaways from that. Can you all hear me okay? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. All right, great. So, and I'm so super duper proud. I'm pretty sure everyone who's on the call live was also at super events because y'all are the ones that show up. So yay, proud of you. All right, Brian left me a list of all the things that I have to tell you, make sure we cover on team call. So let me pull that up. And I will start with Wait, it's in a text, not a message. Here we go. You might notice that my dad's bird isn't squawking anymore because my dad actually went back to his house today, which is both so exciting and also making me kind of sad. I'm not gonna lie. It's making me a little bit sad. Okay. So everybody, remember, please check out the team calendar. Also, please empower yourselves by planning out your week, planning out your month, plan out your week. Hannah and I actually Zoomed this morning and did our calendars for the week, and we made sure that we wrote out what time we were doing our workouts so that we can be committed to that. I will tell you all that I am waking up at 7 every day this week. I'm going to do my miracle morning, and then I'm going to press play at 8 o'clock, if not before. So that is my plan. Hold me accountable. So make sure you check the team calendar in the team page. And for November, we have a lot of cool things going on. Especially, please pay attention to the 3-day refresh that we're going to be doing. Make sure that you're talking about it on your stories, talking about it on your social media, so that your people can order their 3-day refresh with plenty of time. So check that out. Brian also made a video in the group about that for you to share. Or you can make your own, totally up to you. So if you've never done 3-day refresh, I definitely encourage you to give it a try. It's amazing. I love it. I may actually do I'm not going to do day 1 tomorrow, but I might do the refresh when it comes along. We'll see. I have to see how it works with the work. So Shauna, great question. It says you can't work out with 3-day refresh. You're not supposed to. 3-day refresh is supposed to be a period of rest, and you're just focusing on digestion, and you're not supposed to have caffeine. But so I highly suggest, if you've never done 3-day refresh, do it 100% completely by the book. Don't work out. Don't have caffeine, do it exactly as written, and take your pictures, take your measurements, and get your results. Then once you know how the refresh affects you and feels to you, and also side note, the fiber sweep is the worst part, but it's totally doable. Blend it with ice and just chug. Okay, we all have partied, just chug it. You'll be fine. Okay, pretend like you're at a party and you have to chug it. And it really isn't all that bad, especially if you don't think about it. So do the refresh 100% so that you have pictures and you can say, guys, these are my results from this 3-day cleanse. And then, but then as you do it more and more, like Brian likes to just do 1 day here or 2 days there, and I do too. I like to do the 3-day refresh before I travel, so that I don't get as bloated and things while I'm traveling. But definitely try it. Like I said, the first time you do it 100%, and don't work out. And then the next couple times you do it, you can totally do it your way, however you want to do it. But yes, and then it kind of sets you up for Ultimate Reset, which is the 21-day program of food. That's pretty awesome. I did it a couple years ago between Thanksgiving and Christmas, and it was pretty incredible. And you're not supposed to work out for that one either. And I didn't, and it was awesome. I lost a lot of weight and a lot of inches. Okay, so keep promoting the 3-day cleanse that we're doing for the next 3 days so that you can share it and people can get their stuff in time. Brian did a video about the process to invite. And remember, guys, that it helps team volume. And I'm looking at who's on the call right now, and you are all of course, under me, but you're all, I think, under Brian and under Brittany and on that side. So I know for you guys to hold 2-star right now, the volume is important. So definitely share. And 3-day refresh is awesome, guys. I'll have to find some of my old results and post them in the team page so you can share them, because it's pretty awesome. Just the amount of bloat that goes away is incredible. Okay, I'm going to share my screen with you and do recognition. There's Emily, who finished day 100. Yes! All right, let me share my screen very quickly. Here we go. Share. Okay, so October leaderboard. Guys, it makes me so happy. It blows my mind. All right, Brian James, Success Club 12. Brittany, Success Club 12. Danielle, Success Club 10. Yes! I ended at Success Club 8, which was 6 for me, 2 for my husband, Sean, because I'm building him to diamond. Emily, Success Club 6, earning that trip. Yes, ma'am. Courtney, Success Club 4, incredible. Courtney, was that your first month as a coach? I think, like, an earning Success Club. Yes, girl, get it. Stacy, Success Club 2, Shauna, Success Club 2, Ashton, Success Club 2, and Jackie, Success Club 2. And again, Inspiring Heroes is a 2-star qualifying team, and you've held it for 4 weeks. You only have to hold it for 2 more weeks. You can totally do that. Totally. And it's awesome. So I can't math. If anyone's good at math, figure that out, divide all of those by 2, and that's how many people we helped last month, just on our little team. And one of the things that they talked about at our Super Saturday, Doug Moss was there. He's from corporate. He works with the Superstar Diamonds. And he was talking about how and I believe this, they sit in corporate meetings and they talk about how can we help more people. And he was saying, just help one person. Like Michaela said, that was one of her big takeaways from DC Super Saturday, was just help one person. Just help as many people as you can. And don't think about Success Club and don't think about the other things. I mean, set your goals and hit them if that's what you want. But if you are in this truly just to help people and earn a couple extra dollars here and there, then just keep sharing and just keep helping people, because that is what this is all about. All right, let me check my message from Brian and make sure that I covered everything that Bossy Brian left for me to do. Okay, we talked about recognition. Yes. 3-day cleanse. Yes. Okay. And just keep inviting. And remember, keep on working on your journey too. Everyone's committed to a program. I know a bunch of us are starting the work tomorrow. The few, the crazy, the insane ones, that's us. We're starting the work tomorrow. I have not done the fit test. I don't think I'm going to have time to do the fit test. I'm just going to jump in. And guys, there are so many trainings in the Beachbody Champions page. If you're a diamond in the diamond groups, things like that. And I was watching one of the trainings with Amala, and he was saying, no, if you can't pass the fit test, don't do this program. And I'm telling you that, you coaches, but I know you're not going to listen to me. So I'm just going to say it. Don't do this program if you can't pass the fit test. But I know you're not going to listen to me. So whatever, here I'll tell you about the program, because I know y'all are going to do it even if you didn't pass the fit test. And I'm like, that's me. I'm not even going to take the fit test. At least not tomorrow. So we shall see. Okay. Now I want to talk about biggest takeaways from Super Weekend. And, Emily, you weren't on when I said this before I started recording. Everybody is going to share something, and I don't think you went, but I'd like you to share something about your, about finishing 100. Okay, so Danny said she failed her. Technically, she failed. It's all right. Amala said he knew you were going to do it anyway, so it's all good. He was like, you coaches don't listen. I was like, yeah, pretty much, which is what Autumn told us during 80-Day Obsession, too. Okay, so let's go through, and if anybody who wants to go first with something that they want to share, their biggest takeaway from Super Weekend. All right, Brett, take it away.
Because I'm going to probably have to hop off in a few minutes. But I just wanted to say I was super freaking excited because we had so many people there this time. I had both of my Rockstar coaches and their coaches, so that was really freaking cool. Friday night training for us was a little confusing. There was actually I forget, Jason and Chris, I think. So we had the guy coaches, which was pretty cool. You don't often see that, but they were great. And they would like go back and forth, and they're on each other's team, but they built their business in 2 different ways. One was like focusing on hitting rank. The other one isn't as high in rank, but he has like 5 or 6 CBCs. So they kind of went through the difference in that, which can be really confusing for the new coaches, especially. So I think I was telling them, the newer coaches, like, don't worry about all that right now. Just focus on, continuing your journey, helping people. And if you're an Emerald, just making sure you have at least one active on your left and your right. And then all that stuff will come. I know Danielle and I had talked to Brian about maybe doing a separate call about that, to kind of go into it a little bit more, but they were going into pretty deep depths with it, and we were like, oh gosh, but it was good stuff to know. And he talked about spouse accounts and things like that. But a takeaway I think that I had was just to continue helping people, like the team volume. They talked about that a lot as well. So whether you're doing a challenge pack or even just BOD or whatever, everything helps the team. So just keep going.
Awesome. Yes, that's great. Yeah, it can be, this business is simple. The longer you do it, it can get more complicated with, as you build a business, but it's just like if you were working in retail and you learned how to do new things. So like just think of it that way and take it one step at a time.
Oh, okay. And real quick, Laura.
Yep.
I wasn't going to do the fit test thing either, but it's like, it basically you just do like push-ups and burpees, and you mark like what you can do now so that in 6 weeks you can compare. So just do it real quick before you start, because it only took me like, I don't know, like 15 minutes or something.
Yes, ma'am. I'll do it. I figured it was something like that. Yeah. And I didn't take measurements for Morning Meltdown, and I regret it. So always take your pictures and measurements. Always, always. Yes. All right. Who wants to go next?
I'll go ahead and go.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Okay. So on Saturday, I forget her name, but she was talking about no matter what you're going through, share that, good or bad. It's just kind of like how Laura was sharing all of her dad moments. She was talking about her, I think, brother-in-law committed suicide. She was talking about that on her social media. Her brother had cancer. She was talking about that. And then something was wrong with her kids. So back to back, in like a period of 3 months, she went through all of this hard time. And she said that she kind of put her coaching to the side, but she focused on her own personal health and fitness journey and still continued sharing. And she wasn't as inviting as much. And she still grew her business a lot just from doing that. So even if you are struggling with something, to push coaching to the side slightly, but still share. That's it.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. And I will speak from experience with that. You have to. And guys, this coaching community, like, not all of you know the full story of like what was going on with my dad. And I'm going to protect his privacy and not share all of that. But basically it was almost like there was a fire, and we had to get rid of so many of his things, and it was awful. Oh, wait, you can't hear me? Can you hear me now? Okay. Emily says she can hear me, so I'm going to keep going. And yes, everything you said worked. So like, you have to find that balance between sharing, like protecting your family's privacy and also sharing at the same time. But people really, really identify with that. And I've gotten so many messages lately from people saying, like, you've inspired me. We have a whole bunch of people coming back, and I can't wait for them to show up in Healthy Heroes. Hi, Lily. I can't wait for them to show up in Healthy Heroes, because they've messaged me and said, like, I've watched what you've been going through, and I don't even know the whole story. And if I'm not showing up, I'm going to start showing up, which is amazing. So always just keep showing up for yourself and for others, because you never know who's watching you. Okay. Courtney, do you have anything you want to share from Super Saturday or the weekend? Because you guys went for you went for 2 days.
Yeah. So of course, just starting new, you kind of get like down, but I liked seeing how everyone did start small and then just build up. And then the one girl pointed out, like, it doesn't matter if you don't sell a challenge packet, at least you're doing something in some way to inspire someone. So like lately, most people have only been wanting to do like a 3-month, and I just seen it as, you know what, I'm at least getting their foot in the door, and maybe eventually I can get them to want to really jump in and do it.
Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. And it's baby steps. And it is a huge commitment for people to be like, oh my gosh, I'm committing to a subscription for a year. And the other thing is, especially with this time of year, it's kind of rough. I did a live video on the team page about that for the holidays, that are not holiday months, they're holidays. But keep showing up through this time, because for some reason, something's going to click in everybody's brain on December 26th, and they're going to be like, sign me up, buy me all the things, I'm going to buy it all. And like, it's the weirdest thing that our society does. But then those people will be ready when they're ready. So, all right. Shauna said, she's in the chat, so I'm going to read this. My biggest takeaway was to stop focusing on having to meet Success Club. To help someone, no matter if it's a challenge pack, Beachbody on Demand, or just some Energize. Team volume can make you more money than Star Diamonds. Truth. Of course, I would want to make it to Diamond, but no one on the team should be put down for not doing enough, but to celebrate even the little successes like Beachbody on Demand, and so on. Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. We are here to help people live healthy, fulfilling lives. Whether that means that do you guys know that we have vitamins? Activate vitamins. I take them every day. Well, I try every day. Okay, we have so many things to help so many people. So just share, and yes, don't worry about hitting Success Club. I mean, hitting Success Club is great, and that's how you earn the trip and things like that. But the more you keep sharing and the more you keep inviting, the easier it will be. It all compounds. Yeah, the one lady said she even does shout outs for team volume for the month as well. Yes. Yeah, we should do that. Let me talk to Bossy Brian about that. And we should do team volume as well, because that can be a huge part of the leaderboard as well. So absolutely. Okay, let's see. So we've heard from everyone. Emily, tell us about day 100, or your biggest takeaway from Morning Meltdown.
Oh gosh. Okay, so it kind of goes back to Lily, please don't right now, okay? It kind of goes back to like what you were saying about how, you know, you've been dealing with all this stuff with your dad, and you could have not shown up, but you were able to find that balance between taking care of your personal life and continuing on with your journey. And that's definitely what I found through this too. Like when my grandma got sick and passed away, like I could have just stopped. And there were a couple of days when I thought about it. I took one day off and like let myself reset. And then I realized that showing up every day was exactly what I needed to keep me going. Because I'd fallen off before. Like, and it was a little different when I was pregnant because I was like literally sick and I could not do things. But I could have let this circumstance with losing my grandma be that same ending, or, you know, or like more of a pause. And like through going with the B100 book and just continuing on this journey, like I was able to overcome that and not fall into old patterns. So that was really exciting for me. I still ended up finishing in like, I think 100 days. I don't know. It might've been a few less than that because I wanted to finish on a Sunday, but so it's just awesome. And just having the community there, like checking in with everybody and seeing everybody else's successes, like pushed me to do my best too. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yes. And we are also proud of you. And yeah, it is less than 100 days. Because Brian was telling me, because I was down on myself and thinking I wasn't going to finish in 100 days. And I was like, oh, well, I'm still going to hit the goal of 100 workouts. And he was like, no, I think, because we all started in August?
Yeah.
I think 100 days is like November 5th, which is like, okay. Tuesday or something? So we're still good. We're still good. But yes, and it's progress, not perfection. I look at my B100 book. There were so many days I didn't fill it out. So many days. And there's a chunk. There's the October chunk right there that's going to like always remind me when I go back and look through that. Oh, yeah, that was a really shitty month of my life. because I was dealing with all of my dad's stuff. But I still showed up for me so that I could take care of him. And same thing with Emily. She still showed up so that she was not going to go psycho mama on her girls, or, or psycho wife or whatever, because it helps so much. Yeah, Shauna, it doesn't matter if you didn't do 50% of the book. It's okay. Just, some is better than none. Some is better than none, and done is better than perfect. And we can't get caught up in our perfectionism, because our vibe attracts our tribe. That's who we are, y'all. But just let it go. Okay, it's all right to not get it done. And yes, it is hard, but there were so many things that I had to do physically, because basically we had to move my dad out of his apartment and then move him back in. And there were so many things I had to do. Like, guys, like antique television. Do you remember when the TVs used to be furniture? Like the big case? Like, I had to lift one of those and put it in a truck. I had to dump a sofa bed off the back of a truck into the dump. These are all things I would not have been able to do if I didn't take care of me and I didn't work out. I would have had to pay someone else to do it. But I'm strong enough to do it myself, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, Emily, and I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of our team right now. Look at us. And I was showing someone a picture. I was like a proud great grandma at the theater last night. I was like, look at my team. They're in Pittsburgh, and Brian is my baby, and Brittany is my grandbaby, and Danielle is my great grandbaby, and Courtney is my great grandbaby. It was so fun. They were like, that's great, Laura. And I was like, but look how big, all because I invited Brian, all these people, and now they all, it makes me happy. Okay, so real quick, I want to share the biggest takeaway from DC Super Saturday, which was pretty awesome. Our first speaker was a lady who owns a consulting thing for helping people clear out their clutter, which is something that I definitely need. And she was talking about the different kinds of clutter, the physical clutter, the emotional, the noise clutter. I'm so glad my dad's bird is gone. That was so much noise clutter, guys, that bird all day. But just things like that. And she was talking about having a productive environmental process and all of that. And then our second speaker talked about feeling your vision, feel what it's going to feel like. So in this season of my life, I've had a lot of feelings that I haven't had in a while, especially pertaining to money, and especially pertaining to stress, and especially pertaining to my home environment. And I don't want to feel like that. So I'm really going to focus on how I want to feel. I want to feel empowered. I want to feel confident, all of those things. Okay, and then our third speaker was the best, and this is the stuff that I want to share with you. Her name is Summer Tucker, Sommer Tucker. She was so funny. She's a superstar diamond coach. I didn't really have her on my radar, but it's another thing, new coaches. It can be so tempting to go follow the top 10, and it can be so tempting. And like Courtney was saying, we all start somewhere and we all start small, and you can't compare their chapter 6 if they've been in the business 6 years to your chapter 1. Don't do that. So, but Summer Tucker, she was so funny, and she was very nervous. And so she called her husband up on stage with her, which was funny. And then he just stood there, and she's like, he's just my security blanket. I just need him to stand there. But then he did end up talking. So they are military. She was a police officer. And then he was a pilot. And so her talk was going to be 11 things I learned from a leatherneck, which is what they call people in the military, or there were a couple other names, but leatherneck was the one that stuck out to me. So she's like, I'm going to talk about 11 things. And someone from her team held up the number 3 and was like, she's only going to get through 3, which was funny because she did talk a lot, but she got through 5. And those are the things that I want to share with you. So she talked, and I don't know how much military background any of you have, or if you have family in the military or anything like this, but she was talking about this is what made her husband successful as a pilot when he was in the military. And the first one is that I am awesome. Okay, so if you military people, and when they're in the military, they think they are the shit. Okay, all the time. And they're like, I'm awesome. I fly a plane. I do this. I do that. And it's true. I never thought about it like that. But then I was thinking back to my ex-brother-in-laws, and I was like, oh my gosh, that is totally them. But the soldiers and the military they are brought up to have so much confidence that they are awesome. They are strong. They are indestructible. And so she's like, you have to be that. You are awesome. And so she's like, tell yourself, I am awesome, and walk around like a leather neck, like so pumped up and ready to go because you're awesome. Number 2 was I have a superpower, and we all do. We all have superpowers. So she was talking about the plane that her husband used to fly, and it was the kind of plane that actually would, I think it was responsible for weaponry, and it would like shoot missiles, and it would stop missiles, or it would jam the enemy's missiles, stuff like that. So that's what that plane's superpower was. And so every time her husband got into his plane, he knew that that's what his superpower was. His superpower wasn't flying high. It wasn't flying fast. Apparently this plane couldn't turn very well, but he thought, I am awesome, and my plane is the shit. Oh, sorry, the kids. My plane is awesome because it jams the missiles and it does this thing. Like, that's my superpower. So think about what your superpower is. Think about what your superpower is as a human, and then apply that to coaching. What is your superpower? So your story is your superpower. And she kept saying that. She kept yelling it at us. Your story gives someone hope. And that's why it's so important to keep sharing your story. And my story might not resonate with someone else, but maybe Courtney's story is exactly what someone else needs to hear. Or maybe Danny's story is exactly what someone else needs to hear. Or Shauna's story, because we all have these different stories. So your story is your superpower. So share your story over and over and over again. Keep sharing your story. And she also said to make a list, and this will be a great team activity. Make a list of your life before challenge groups, like before you found this community, and after you found this community. And I was thinking, I was like, yeah, my life is so different, but I've been in my new life for the past 5 years. So sometimes it's easy for me to forget what it was like before I had challenge groups, before I had that community to lean on when something like the last month of my life, like when that happens. So I do encourage you to make a list of your life before challenge groups and after challenge groups. Or it can be before coaching, after coaching. Talk about those things. Okay. Number 3 is never take off without a mission. So she was talking about, she asked her husband, she's like, so every time you went up in the plane, even if it was just, I almost said a rehearsal, that's not what it's called in the military, but every time you went up in the plane, did you have a mission? And he's like, yes, even if it was a training mission, we knew that we had to do this, this, and this. And every time we got deployed, we knew that this was our mission. So she says, never take off without a mission. So identify your mission. So when you get ready to do your power hour, that's your mission. So there's always a reason to do your power hour. What is it? Find your why, find your mission, and do your mission. Like, sit down for your power hour, pump yourself up, listen to some music, sit down, do your power hour, and know what your mission is. Your mission is to change lives, or your mission is to make your life better, or your mission is to make more money to help your family pay bills. Whatever your mission is, know your mission before you sit down and do your power hour, or send your invitations or anything like that. So, and write your mission down and write your vision down and read it out loud every day. This is something that I need to get back to doing because it does make a difference. Write it out. Write out what your life looks like and the way you want it to look, and then read it out loud because it will make such a difference. Some of you have heard me talk about the Target cup. I have a phrase I come from a long line of hoarders, y'all. And I have a phrase in my vision that I read out loud that says, our home is clean and peaceful. Everything has a place. Like, everything has a home inside our home. So there's not clutter. And I was at Target one day and I was looking at these really cute water bottles, and Lord knows I don't need another water bottle, but I heard my mission, or I heard my vision in my head that said, everything in our home has a place. And I looked at that cup and I went, I don't know where I'm going to put that. It doesn't have a place. It's not going to bring me joy. It's not part of my vision. I'm not buying the cup at Target. So write out your mission and your vision and read it out loud every day. There's so much power in your voice. Also, write down what you don't want. This one hit me hard. This is when the tears came, because I've been in a place this month of feeling a lot of ways I don't want to feel, and I'm going to write it down because I don't want to feel this way. And then think about how amazing it's going to be when I don't feel that way anymore and I feel amazing and great. And then I can look back and be like, oh yeah, I don't ever want to feel that way ever again. So, and write down where you don't want to go. So write down your vision, mission, where you do want to go, and write down where you don't want to go. And make sure you know what you want or what you don't want. Because if you don't have your mission and know what you want and what your purpose is, then life's not gonna, you're not gonna have your mission. You're just gonna be flying your plane everywhere, and it's just not gonna work. So the next one was know your weakness. So she was talking about how the plane that her husband flew, the cool missile thing, that it was an ugly, ugly plane. And she's like, and so we'd go to base and they'd be like, oh, let's all take pictures in the front of the plane. And she'd be like, can we have a picture in front of that plane instead? Because this one is ugly and it doesn't look cool, and it's ugly, and it's short and fat, and it wasn't a great plane. And so her husband, she was like, so tell us what some of the weaknesses of this plane were. And he's like, well, it wasn't fast. It was clunky. It would leak stuff all the time. It can't turn. It can't fly high. And she's like, and yet he sat in it, thought he was the shit. And he had these great, because I am awesome. And he had this mission, okay? But he knew the weaknesses of the plane. He knew that it couldn't turn fast. He knew that it couldn't turn high, or that it couldn't fly high. He knew all of those things about it. And so he knew the weaknesses of the plane. So know your weaknesses, but don't let those define you. So whatever your weaknesses are as a person, or in your health and fitness journey, or as a coach, know what those are and don't let them define you. Figure out how to overcome them. Okay? Lean on other people. She was talking about how, well, that plane doesn't fly high and doesn't turn fast but there are other planes that do that, and that's okay. So know what you're working with. And then the last one that she talked about was ejection is not an option. And this one hit me hard. Someone else said it at Summit. They said, take divorce off the table. Okay, so you've committed to this. You've committed to your healthy journey. Ejection is not an option. So if you're a pilot in a plane, and she talked about how many times her husband, she's like, how many times did your engine fail? How many times did, one time one of the engines caught on fire and he still landed the freaking plane. He never ejected from the plane. Ejection is not an option. And then she also talked about how, well, actually he talked, and he said, he was talking about, this was before they had kids and everything, but he was in the military, and there was this race that they had to do for the end, for him to achieve the thing. And so she packed herself up and she moved to Quantico. So he had to finish school. She was basically like, I'm moving here. You have to finish school, because we're just not going to live in Quantico if you're not in the military. That's not something people do. So I'm here, you're going to finish. So he was doing the very last test, and they had to do basically a Spartan mud run, before those were a common thing that normal people do. It was that's where it came from, was from the military. And so they had this mud course and the trees and all of that stuff. And so he was talking about how he was running and he wasn't feeling good, but he knew he had to do the test. And he was running, and all of a sudden he started to pee himself, as he's running. And he's like, what is happening? Okay, I'm just going to keep running. I don't feel good. I don't know. I'm just going to keep running. This is weird. It's okay. There's going to be lots of mud. We have to get in water later anyway. And so he got to the next thing, and they were like, dude, are you okay? And he's like, I'm okay. I'm going to keep going. And so he'd do the next trek of it, and he fell down. He kept falling down and passing out and waking back up and getting up and running again. And they were like, and so he finished the whole race, and he was trying so hard to be strong because he didn't want the silver bullet, which is where they stick the thermometer up your butt. He was like, I don't want that. But he got to the end and he was so, they were like, something's really wrong with you. Like something's wrong. And so they took his temperature. He had a fever of 107 degrees. So, but he had finished the race. He finished the mission. And so they threw him in an ice bath and they got it and they got medication in him and everything, got fluids in him, got him calmed down and everything. And they were like, dude, okay, they finally figured out that he had strep throat and that he was severely dehydrated. And that's why they were like, how did you do that mission? How did you do that? And he's like, I didn't have a choice. My wife moved here. I had to finish school. Like I had to do it. I had to, because ejection was not an option. Quitting was not an option. You have to push through. And it was a pretty cool story. And he did finish and he did get better. They figured out he had strep throat and he got the medicine and everything and got better. I couldn't run with any type of fever, let alone 107 degrees. But it was pretty awesome. So she talked about quitting is not an option. Ejection is not an option. And emergencies are going to happen always. Okay? We are all, sadly, going to lose people we love, like Emily did this month. We are all going to have family crises, like I did this month. Emergencies are going to happen, okay? We don't know when, that's why they're called emergencies, but they are always going to happen. You have to expect that you're going to drop rank, but not until you all qualify for 2 stars, so hang on there, okay? But then you have to expect that people are going to quit. People are going to eject. They're going to leave our team. And it's going to break our hearts, but it's going to happen, okay? Emergencies are going to happen, but you have to expect them, and it has to all be in your mindset that we're not going to quit, that we're going to keep going. And y'all remind me of this about Wednesday when I can't walk from doing the work, okay? Ejection is not an option. But it's true. It's always going to happen. Other people around us are always going to eject. They're going to quit. We're going to drop rank. Things are not going to always go perfectly, but we just keep going. We just keep going through, okay? Because once we eject, the plane is going to crash, and then there's no more plane, all right? But if we stay the course and we keep flying our little plane that doesn't fly very high and can't turn very well, but it can freaking stop missiles, that's amazing, okay? So those are the things. So just to recap, it was, I am awesome. Walk around knowing that you are awesome. Know that you have a superpower and that your story is part of that superpower, and share your superpower. Never take off without a mission. Never send an invite without a mission. Never start a workout without a mission. Think about it before you start your workout. Think about it before you start your personal development. These things become habits, which is great, but take a minute and think, okay, I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm going to be ready to receive whatever my personal development has ready for me today. Never take off without a mission. Identify your mission, and read it out loud every day. Know your weakness. Know what your weakness is, but don't let it define you. Be willing to work past it, to keep going through it. And then the last one is, ejection is not an option. We are not quitting. Even when life gets hard, we work towards our goals, even when life gets rough. Okay? And it's all about your mindset, so take care of your mindset. I have one more thing I just want to share with you guys as a personal experience. So I left Super Saturday, and my batteries were recharged. We did a pound workout, which if you guys have never done that, it has the little sticks. They each weigh half a pound, and like the leader taps a rhythm, and then you Michaela actually texted me tonight. And she's like, my legs are sore. And I was like, right. And all we had were like 2 little sticks, but we did a bunch of lunges and you pound the floor. And then there was one where we did core, and we like hit the floor as hard as we could. And it felt so good. Okay. But anyway, so we did all that, and I was at Super Saturday, and of course there were all those coaches, and I got to see my friends and I got to hug them, and it was awesome. And then we had one of the weirdest, worst nights at the theater on Saturday night, guys. These people were weird. They weren't our normal customers. We had an Elvis impersonator in this weekend, and some of them were just rude. So every night that I can, and I'm there, I go around and I touch every table and I say, thank you for coming. How was everything tonight? And people tell me good, and then I ask if it's the first time they've been there, what was the last show they saw, things like that. Just, offering customer service. If you guys don't know, we spent thousands and thousands of dollars this past summer remodeling our theater, which was very stressful, but we got it done and it looks very nice. So I go to this one table and I said to her, how was everything? And she said, they need to remodel. This place is a dump. And I was like, and so my mama kicked in. She taught me to kill them with kindness. And I said, well, actually, ma'am, we did just remodel this summer. We have all new carpet. We have a new lobby. We have a new bar, all new paint everywhere. And she was talking about the lighting grid. Who cares about the lighting grid? Anyway, unless you're a theatrical technician, you don't care about the lighting grid. But anyway, and it doesn't even look that bad. And I said, and actually we have new lighting equipment, and new sound equipment. I said, but as a small mom and pop, small business, there's only so much we can do. And we spent a lot of money this summer, and that's on the 10-year plan. And we're on year 5. So we're pretty proud of ourselves. Thank you. Have a nice night. Okay. And then I wanted to say, and you can leave now because you've insulted me inside my home. But I didn't say that. I was very kind. And I know that the reason I was able to handle that situation was because my mindset was in the right place. Because I had been to Super Saturday, because I had worked out and the endorphins had flowed, is that right? Yes. Because I had taken care of myself, I was so proud of all of you. And I had been, on social media and looking at your social media. And I know that it was because I was in the right mindset that I didn't fly off the handle and flip out and kick that woman out of my theater. So I just want you to remember, it's those moments, I stopped and I was later and I was like, what caused me to not to be able to handle that? And it was because I had been at Super Saturday. I'd had my batteries recharged. I'd had my heart recharged. I'd had my head recharged and all of those things. So just remember that this healthy journey and this coaching business is not just about that. It's about all the ways that it helps you lead a healthy, fulfilled life. And that is sustainable because it makes us all better people. And then we can deal with the not so good people. So that was my little story. I felt very glad that I had been at Super Saturday because otherwise I don't think I would have been able to handle her. And ejection is not an option. So, all right. I love you all so much. I'm so, so proud of you. Keep pounding it out. Keep working on what you're doing. Stay committed to your programs. Keep inviting to 3-day refresh. We need to get a picture. Oh, Brittany, can you hop on real quick so we can get a picture? Maybe. There she is, Shauna. Can you hop on? Or no? It's okay if you can't. There she is. She's always looks so snuggly. I just want to come over and snuggle. Okay, ready? Everybody smile. One more. Awesome. Yay. I'm so proud of you all. So, so proud of you. Keep shining your lights so brightly and have a wonderful week. I'll see you next week. Bye.